Once upon a time, in Athens, Greece, during the ancient Greece era, there was a terrible man, a king, King Minos of Crete, whose daughter was of great beauty. Her name was Princess Ariadne. When King Minos' son was killed in Athens, he became angered and attacked the city. The Athenians asked for King Minos to provide them with terms in order to avoid the deaths of many innocent youths. These terms stated that each year Athens had to sacrifice 7 maidens and 7 youths to the fearsome Minotaur, half human, half bull, whom Minos housed in the labyrinth, an expanding, living maze that tortured everyone who entered. Nobody ever came out of the maze alive. If they didn't starve to death or go crazy, they would eventually run into the Minotaur and be eaten.
One year, during the sacrificial party choosing, Theseus, son of Poseidon and Ariadne, volunteered to be part of this party, hoping to destroy the Minotaur and be the first to exit the labyrinth alive, besides Daedalus, the creator of the labyrinth and prisoner of King Minos.
When Theseus arrived in Crete, Minos' kingdom, he met the beautiful Princess Ariadne, who instantly fell in love with him. When Ariadne found out that Theseus was to meet the same death as all the people before him, she fell into great grief. But before Theseus was due to enter the labyrinth, Ariadne had an idea. In exchange for his promise for their marriage, she gave him a sword in which he used to kill the Minotaur. She also provided him with a spool of red fleece thread and gave it to Theseus to take into the labyrinth so he could find his way back out.
Theseus took the string into the labyrinth with him. Ariadne was in great distress while her soon-to-be husband was possibly being tortured to death. Meanwhile, once he found the Minotaur, Theseus battled the Minotaur and killed it. He then followed the special string Ariadne gave him, and that is how he found his way out. Then he took Princess Ariadne with him, so King Minos could not find out that Princess Ariadne had helped Theseus, therefore saving her own life along with his. They escaped to an island off the coast of Crete called Naxos.
What Theseus did on this island was astonishing. He left Ariadne there while she was sleeping to finish his journey. A few days later, the god Dionysus found Princess Ariadne stranded on the island, heartbroken and dying. Dionysus fell in love and married her. When Princess Ariadne died, Dionysus brought her back to Mount Olympus, where the gods live, and made her his immortal wife. Ariadne and Dionysus have lived happily since then.
We believe that the main character in this myth is not Theseus, but Ariadne. The story doesn't end or begin with the Minotaur, but the Minotaur is at the heart of the old myth, as it is in the heart of the labyrinth. Ariadne is the true conqueror of the labyrinth. Theseus is commonly believed to be her mere tool to escape her father's trap. We can look at her story as if she's the scorned one, abandoned by a man she had trusted, helped, and loved. She was extremely clever to think of a simple solution to best the complex labyrinth. Many people pity her because they see that she was abandoned on Naxos, but what became of that situation was greater than she could have ever imagined. She became immortal and was married to a very powerful yet honest and kind man. She eventually got her happily ever after in Mount Olympus. The author wrote this story to inform us that wisdom can best strength. The theme of this selection is that things aren't always as they seem, because in the beginning, Ariadne is portrayed as a little, helpless girl who is desperate for love. In the end, we can see that Ariadne is a strong individual who used Theseus for her own benefit.
In Ariadne's string, Ariadne symbolizes women, wisdom, and power. Theseus symbolizes pride, strength, and men. It may seem that strength can be more powerful than wisdom, but that is incorrect in most cases.
The author gives background information first and portrays Ariadne as a helpless princess. In the middle, she is looked upon like a desperate child in search of love. At the end, the author shows that Ariadne is dumped. We see that Ariadne gets her happily ever after. For most of the story, if you look on the surface, you see that Ariadne is depressed for most of it. If you read between the lines, you can see that Ariadne was not as she seemed. She was strong, yet sly.
Overall, the summary of the story is 7 maidens and 7 youths have been sent to Crete to be sacrificed to the Minotaur. Theseus is one of the 7 that year, and he went to Crete to meet the princess of Crete, Princess Ariadne, daughter of the evil King Minos. She fell in love and gave him a spool of thread and a sword to help him survive. He survived the labyrinth thanks to Ariadne. He took Ariadne with him, but left her stranded on the island of Naxos. She then married Dionysus and lived happily ever after. Don't feel anything. All I feel is cold.